Social media can be a nightmare. Can be your best friend, but until you figure out what to post, when to post, how to post, what voice to use, what images to use, what time of day, and, and all the rest that comes with it, that changes tomorrow inevitably, it's a headache. And you wonder, are you wasting your time and your energy and your money, potentially, because in one way, shape, or form, whether you're paying for ads or not, it's taking somebody's time, and that's worth money, even if it's yours. So this podcast is all about how I decide what to post and when, and it'll dig into how I create content, really from the foundational basics. I'm Deborah Atkinson, and you're listening to the Voice for Fitness Professionals podcast, where I share marketing and sales strategies to help you grow a business and a life that you love without being pushy, salesy, or sleazy, and reaching the exact customer that you love working with. So, this episode is brought to you by the Flipping 50 Fitness Specialist. In these last 8 years, I've taken the 29 years that came before that of my career and focused on working with women who are, quote unquote, flipping 50, and working with hormone balancing exercise and all of the science that entails for women who are in every stage and phase of menopause, because they are oh so very different and they need something very different for their hormones, metabolism, body composition, and socialization, which has also been very different than a male's or than any female at any other age than they're at right now. So if you're working with women already, you're already attracting them, but you want to serve them better and have the answers to those questions that are hard to answer. Why am I gaining fat? Why can't I lose fat? How can I get rid of this belly fat? Why do I have cellulite? And a number of others. You need to check out fitnessmarketingmastery.com/programs and look at the only and the first hormone balancing fitness certificate designed for trainers and health coaches, or want to be trainers and health coaches who want to work with women in midlife, and you too know they have more influence on health habits in our world than anyone else ever did. Okay, so let's dive in. So no matter who you're working with, if you too are working with women in midlife, you've got to know that you're targeting them in your posts. But what do you post, right? It's overwhelming and it's really sexy to pick up your phone. Who's done this? And look at somebody else's timeline or post and say, oh my gosh, that is such a great post. And look at all the likes and the shares and how popular they are. It's like being back in junior high and you go to school on Monday and you realize that some of your classmates have gone shopping over the weekend and they have cooler clothes than you. And the only thing you can think about until you get that same pair of jeans or that same polo shirt is that you need one too to be cool. You get me? It's that same feeling. So don't go down that rabbit hole. First of all, I'm going to share with you my process. And my process right now is more efficient than ever because it had to be. Although I love to get random ideas and I used to take random options, the more people I help, the less I can do that. I can't just come back for a walk or a run where I often get my ideas and sit down and write a blog post or do a podcast and do a one-off anything. So while I do jot down notes and I save them on my phone while I'm riding my trainer or when I finish a walk, I don't just start posting based on a great idea. I batch. First, I plan content around the topic or the topics that I'm focused on this month. I know what my new students, the ones that haven't become new students yet, have to know and what they have to believe before they get started, ultimately before they buy. So I encourage you to think about that. What do your students all know and believe before they buy from you? Think about that one. All right, here's this. Before we dive in too far, this should go without saying, but obviously it can't, that you and I are both here to help people. You have something of value to offer. You're a client-centered coach or trainer, and you know the science behind what you're doing and why it works and who it's perfect for. Because let's face it, good marketing strategies, great marketing strategies in the hands of somebody who just wants to market and sell and make a buck can go really wrong. Anyone using marketing when they haven't got the science and it's not heart-centered, that's led to the wide continuum of the fitness industry quality that we have going on today. Okay, so I'm talking to you. I know you're in the right place. Let's dive in. If I have a program that is open soon for enrollment, then I'm going to want to be sure that everyone who is a perfect candidate knows about that, right? You don't want to be the best kept secret. But I also avoid telling somebody about it who doesn't want anything to do with it. You don't want to be shouting to your entire list, this program, especially if it's, for instance, for a woman with osteoporosis, and you have men and you have young women on your list. That would be totally wrong, and it would start conditioning them to not open because your emails don't always pertain to them. Why would they waste their time, right? So you want to be careful about that. But answer these questions. So I'm going to talk about a very specific program I have coming up this month. It'll probably resonate with you. But these are the questions that I've got to think about. So the person who's going to buy this program, I need to know in the few weeks leading up to it, what do they need to know? What do they need to believe? What do they know now? What do they believe now? And what are they doing now? Because you want somebody who is really starting to seek a solution. They already know they have a problem, because otherwise you need months. You don't just need a couple of weeks. They're not going to probably enroll in your program now. Maybe they will in 6 months, but you've got to do some education, inspiration, let them know there is an answer and you're the answer. That's not your 1, 2, or 3 week launch period where you're going to get somebody in. They've got to be doing some specific searching and want to find an answer. So next, how do I relay a message? And how do I make that perfect student that I want to enroll feel smart and savvy and respected for whatever they have been thinking and doing to this date? I ask that because no one responds well to a condescending message. So I want to teach, not preach. And I want to kind of poke fun at myself, not at that person. So if I can laugh at myself about mistakes I've made or things I used to think that I know now are wrong and they're myths, then I can maybe get to that person and have them realize, oh, I used to think that too, without being preachy. So back to batching. My topic this month, for me, it's about a strength training program that I'm launching. I want students, prospective students, to believe that it's crucial to aging. Strength training is crucial to aging and to hormone balancing, and to think that they absolutely need it. I want them to be doing it and with me and know there's a specific way how that is unique to hormone balancing. That's what I need my prospects to know. So you know what? I would suggest, if you can, pause this right now or come back to it and sit down and say, what is it that you need students to know before they purchase your specific program? What would make them, that they think or feel or believe that you're the one they have to have, that not just any program, but you are the answer. So I have to meet my prospects where they are. You know what they're doing? Is they're doing bar classes, they're doing Pilates and yoga, and they're using small weights, maybe bands or tubing. And I know they want to get rid of belly fat. They're very interested in core exercise. So topics that I'm going to create content around include all of those things this month. Every blog post, every podcast, whether I'm creating it new or I'm sharing old blogs and podcasts in my social media and telling them in the text of the post, here's why I'm sharing this right now, because it's such a popular one, and I got this question again, and so I pulled this up. So I'm using verbiage or language like that in my posts, and I play with titles. Really important that you title things accurately. So I use YouTube, I use tools like BuzzSumo, Answer the Public, and other tools to create titles that inspire my content, not copy. That is important. You got to be your voice. Don't go to an article that's on the same topic and copy it, and not even in pieces. That wasn't okay in high school, junior high, and it's not okay now. You're your own unique voice. You're going to discourage people from buying from you if you simply copy other people's program. Copy, okay? Be you. Then I go searching for primary research on PubMed and any specific journals that I love. So in my case, I'll often go to menopause or the midlife journal or obesity because that's very privy to the people I work with. Next, I make notes. I like to use at least one, but up to 5 primary sources. So that means 5 primary research studies. And I try to stick within the last 5 years. Right now, things are booming in terms of research for my market, so I can almost always do something in the last 3 years. I link back to my own relevant articles or blogs on my site or on other sites where I've written, which increases the total scientific proof because every blog or podcast that I do is referenced. So then I write bullets, I create subheadings, and think about images and graphics that I would post on social media that would encourage saving. I want to save that and lead people back to the content where there's going to be a specific call to action, meaning right in the blog post, I will say, if you like that, you're going to love this. Opt in for my free gift, and maybe that is a PDF or a video explaining further. So that's a benign step, right? They don't have to exchange anything except their email. I also might go directly to a low ticket item. Now, if you have a program that's $250, depending on who you're attracting to your site, that's a big step for somebody who does not know you, or what we call cold traffic. Those call to actions look like this. One option would be, say, a waiting list for a program. I can nurture them before the program opens if they get on that. So I love to do that one, and we use that for a lot of our programs. So if a program is open, say 4 times a year, 12-week program, there's a waiting list if you come while we're in the middle of it. So you can be the first to get the notification, but I can also take that notifications list and start soft selling them, talking to them about strength training and the reason why it's urgent that they get started. Second, a call to action would be a direct link to a program that's open. The card is open, but remember, it's got to be a low ticket item. So probably $49 or less. Think about what's low relative to what it is you do. So if I were selling to you, somebody who should be making easily $1,000 every time a client signs up for a new package or renews their package, and maybe larger, charging $1,000 for a certificate program or specialist program or business coaching, which is going to be triple or more of that, that's not a huge ticket item, right? So something $200, $250, that's very reasonable. So if you've never done business coaching before and you think that's out of line, you got to get started growing that business because you're underestimating your own power. You have to remember that you may be there to sell customers, meaning be on social media, but customers are there to connect with friends and family and get helpful tips. So make sure you connect before you ever just promote your stuff on social media. That doesn't work very well. You'll never grow your social or bring them into your world where you can influence others and their life if you just sell and promote. So there you have it. That's how I create social media. So very foundational, right? You've got to get under there. I didn't give you any how-to. How do you actually post? How do you actually open that up? Do you use stories? What do you do? Because if you don't have this foundational stuff and you're just going to start posting stories and sharing stuff, you don't have enough content. You really have to have some depth and be something somebody wants to follow, have an influence. All of this happens after I've done foundational homework, and you need to too, about who I want to reach and what they want and what's true of them now. If you want support and you're ready to take a next step, if this all seems a little bit overwhelming, I've got two options for you. You can book a consultation with me about private coaching and your next steps. So be prepared. Private coaching comes at a private coaching rate. Or there's the option of starting the Flipping 50 Fitness Specialist. So that certificate program, if you work with women in midlife and beyond, is golden. Because even in this COVID, even in a crisis, women in midlife, number one, they have money. They're at that point in their lives, or they're budgeting for it, and they want help. In fact, right now, during COVID or because of it, they may be gaining weight because they're at home. They're not moving as much. And they want and know that there's urgency to getting in better shape now so that they age optimally. From the advanced specialist option that I offer, I'll help you leverage your knowledge and your uniqueness to grow your business. We'll get into this marketing foundation, and you will start loving instead of hating social media, and you'll know what to post. I'm going to link to both of those options in the show notes, and that'll be at fitnessmarketingmastery.com/what to post, a dash between each of those words. And what are you waiting for? Start making a difference. And do not allow yourself to believe that not everyone is spending money right now. A lot of people are. And you can find them and attract them.